Dear viewers, welcome to Doordarshan Kendra Kohima. Today we'll be having a talk or discussion on Right to Education Act 2009. Today we are privileged to have two panelists from Kohima District Legal Services Authority. And so as we move on, may I take this time to introduce them one after another. We have Ms. Mechede Kenye, who is an advocate practicing in Kohima and also the panel lawyer of Kohima District Legal Services Authority. We are happy to have you, Miss. We have Ms. Asanla Longamer, who is also a practicing lawyer and also impaneled as panel lawyer in the Kohima District Legal Services Authority. We are happy to have you, Miss. To begin with, I may be allowed to give an introduction on this topic. The right to education is a basic human right and means every child should go to the school. The right to education is legally granted for all without any discrimination and for which states have the obligation to protect and fulfill. Education in India is primarily provided by public schools, which means controlled and funded by the government at three levels, that is the central, the state, and the local level, and also the private schools. Under various articles of the Indian Constitution, free and compulsory education is provided as a fundamental right to children aged 6 to 14 years. The approximate ratio of public schools to private schools in India is 7:5 ratio. The literacy rate in India as of till date is 77.7%. That includes both rural and urban, where Kerala emerged as the most literate state in the country. And so as we move forward on this discussion, we'll be hearing more from our panelists. So to begin with, if I maybe take this time to put a question to Ms. Mechede. What is the main objective of RTE Act 2009?
Thank you. The main objective of Right to Education Act 2009 is to ensure that every child should receive quality elementary education, irrespective of caste, creed, or financially weaker sections. And this act also includes those children who have been forced to drop out of schools.
Thank you. As we have heard about the main objective of the RTE is that to ensure that the child in India receives quality elementary education. So we may move further. If I may put this question to Ms. Asanla Longamer, can you please highlight us some of the basic features of RTE Act 2009?
The basic features of RTA Act is that it ensures free and compulsory education to all children within the age group of 6 to 14 years. And no school fees, capitation fees, charges or any other expenses are to be paid by the child to get elementary education. So also the child or his parents are not subjected to any screening procedure for admission to such schools.
Okay. Now, we also understood in this way that the bottom line, the age is about 6 to 14 as per mandated by the Act 2009. Now, let's go further. If I may put this question to Ms. Mechede Kenye, which amendments are included by Right to Education?
In the Constitution, 86th Amendment Act 2002 has inserted Article 21A, that is Right to Education, which provides free and compulsory education to all children, especially the age group, as you have already said, 6 to 14 years, as it is also a basic human rights and is a fundamental right.
I see. Okay, thank you. We also understood that as per the 86th Amendment Act 2002, the right to education has been inserted in Article 21A. and so it is a constitutional directives as well. So can we hear the importance, or why is RTE important to Ms. Asanla Longkamer?
Right to education is important because education is the fundamental human right and essential for the exercise of all other human rights. It promotes individual freedom and empowerment and yields important development benefits. And educational challenges have been prevalent at both the center and states for many years in India, and the RTE Act 2009 maps out roles and responsibilities for the center, state as well as other local bodies to rectify the gaps in the education system in order to enhance the quality of education in the country.
Okay. Can we also hear something about the reservation policy in the RTI Act, or what is RTE reservation from Ms. Mechite?
When we talk about reservation, we can look into section 12, clause 1, subclause C of the Right to Education Act 2009, which mandates the non-minority private unaided schools should at least reserve 25% of seats in entry-level phase. So especially for those children who are economically weak and are at a disadvantaged situation. So this sections 12 clause 1 subclause C talks about reservations.
Okay. Thank you. We also wanted to hear something about a curriculum and evaluation system. So if I may put this question to Ms. Asanla Longkamer, that who will prescribe the curriculum and evaluation system at the state level, even in our context, in our Nagaland context also? Yeah.
Section 29, clause 2 of the Act talks about the curriculum and evaluation system at the state level. The state governments shall have to specify academic authorities that will lay down curriculum and evaluation procedures at the state level. In our state, that authority could be SCERT or other academic institutions of the state.
As in general discussion, if we can have a general discussion that even the curriculum and the evaluation system that is solely based on the SCERT as of now, referring to our state of Nagaland, do you think, or what is your view that the state of Nagaland is, complying to this section 29.2? In your opinion, what do you say? The SCERT is doing, going well so far, complying to section 29.2? If you can share a little bit on that. Yeah.
Okay. Not exactly with regard to section 292, but our state has also looked into more government sections where the fees and also the management board is being implemented as of now in Nagaland compared to other states, because as we have already discussed, like the other states have their own separate according to the needs. So they have their own setup. So even in Nagaland also we have our own. We are not up to the expectations of what other states are doing, but we are also still developing in that manner. So when it comes to government school, yes, fees and the management board and all is been done for now. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. If I also may be allowed to put a question to Ms. Mechide again, that we also see about a child not to be expelled or failed as per the Act, that is Right to Education Act 2009. And so is it true that no child can be expelled or failed as per the Act if we have to follow?
Yes. No schools, irrespective, can fail or detain or expel any child up to the age, up to the elementary stage. Here we can also look into, if you are going to look into the Act, it is also given in section 16 of the Right to Education Act 2009. Here it has been detailed that no child should be expelled or failed till he completes the stage of elementary. And also if we look into as a whole in India, in the recent case, the High Court of Chhattisgarh has also held that there is a statutory prohibition in failing a child till he completes the till he completes the elementary stage. Yeah.
Then what do you say, particularly concerning the state of Nagaland, what is the status, or till date, what is the status of complying to this Section 12 on the expelling or the failing part, whether the state is literally complying to the Act as per directed?
Yes.
Yeah.
So far, yes, especially government schools, it's been carried on. Maybe not all, but yeah, some.
Okay, all right. That's in a positive note.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you. Another question, continuing with your another question, what is meant by free education in the Act? We talk about free and compulsory education that is amended, and so how do you express, or how do you define, or what does the Act speaks about free education?
Okay, according to this Act, there is the Right to Education Act 2009. Here, Section 3, you can look into Section 3, Clause 2, which talks about free. Here refers to any fees or charges which may prevent the child to pursue his elementary education. So here in Section 3.2 mainly talks about free of charges and fees for a child up to the stage of elementary.
I see, yeah. I see. Few things further again, if I may put up to Ms. Asanla, could you kindly share us something, or in a nutshell, the components of few things about the components of RTE Act 2009?
Well, firstly, it is compulsory and free education, which is provided under Section 3. Now, when we say free and compulsory education, it means up to elementary education. And as per the Act, it also mandates on having separate toilets for boys and girls, proper drinking facility, and proper working hours for teachers, as well as for the school functioning, and also the teacher-student ratio.
I see.
And next, there is a special provision for special cases, which is covered under Section 4. Now, when we talk about special provision, it is when a child up to 6 years has not completed his or her elementary education, and because of some reasons, whether that child has been expelled or was unable to complete his elementary education, in such a situation, he can be admitted in a class appropriate to his age. And if the child is not able to cope up with the age or with the class, with the class, then special training has to be arranged by the schools, to which the child gets his or herself enrolled. Yeah. And there is quantity and quality of teachers that has been stressed on, and zero tolerance against discrimination. So discrimination could be of any kind. Mostly in our context, we don't. It is not much visible as far as gender issues are concerned, but it could be gender issues as well, and class, caste, or anything. And it ensures for all-round development of children, improving learning outcomes to minimize detention, and monitoring compliance of RTE norms, for which the Act also provides to set up school management committee. And lastly, the Right to Education Act is justifiable.
Okay. So according to you, or what do you say as far as the state of Nagaland is concerned? Components like the benchmark mandate on having a separate toilet for girls and boys, or having special training kind of thing, and setting up of state redressal forum kind of thing, do this really affect, or do the state implement thus far in our state of Nagaland?
Yes, to some extent, our state has been implementing that, and we see it in some of the schools that we have around us.
I see. Okay. Now, if I may put up this question to Ms. Machete again, uh, since we have heard a lot about the components, the structure, the provisions, the modalities as per the Act 2009, can you also highlight something about the RTE Act? Why the RTE Act 2009 is considered a landmark act?
Yes. The Right to Education Act 2009 is considered a landmark step taken by the government to provide every child the right and the child what the child needs, and mainly because education, as we all know, is a basic human right, and it is also important for every one of us. And as that's why even in our constitution, the Article 21A, which talks about right to education, has been inserted.
Exactly.
And lastly, the right to education is also very important, as it also helps to tackle poverty in our place.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. One last question to Ms. Longomer. Can you please compare and contrast as well as what is the income limit for RTE, especially when we refer to other states? They have their own RTE right to education rules. They have come up, and so if you can compare and contrast as well on the income limit of RTE to our state as well.
The income limit to avail this under RTE has been set out by the Act. So, family income for SC and ST category should be up to 2 lakh per annum for RTE admission, and 1 lakh for OBC, and 68,000 per annum for the general category. But these are the modalities of the state of Gujarat. Now in Nagaland, so far we don't have such modalities laid out by the state.
But do you think, or what do you say that states like Gujarat, the bigger states like Maharashtra and all, states like Kerala and all, they have come up with their best modalities and the rules as well. And this is the structure that you have mentioned just now.
Yes.
In our state also, even there is such rules or not, what do you say whether we are implementing the income limit for RTE? Is there any provisions, or we are just following the RTE Act 2009?
So far, our state has not set out its own set of modalities to implement that, but we are all coming under and following the Act only.
I see. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, RTE Act is implemented in the year 2012 in the state of Nagaland. The original act, that is the Central Act, has come into enforcement on 1st April 2010. However, our state of Nagaland has implemented in the year 2012 as mentioned. The SCERT has been entrusted for the implementation of this act in Nagaland. Now, the State Commission for Protection of Child Rights is a body created to monitor the implementation of the RTE Act at the state level. Now, we also have heard about the Grievance Redressal Forum in the component of RTE Act 2009 from our panelists. And so the State Commission for Protection of Child Rights is the body created to monitor at the state level, and the first step of grievance redressal is the School Management Committee. Now, according to the report of the National Sample Office, NSSO, 32 million Indian children of age up to 13 years have never attended any school, the majority of them belonging to the social disadvantaged class. The key to reforming education for the underprivileged lies in first going back to the basics, understanding the term underprivileged and comprehending the socio-economic background of the underprivileged is an absolute necessity. Now, the umbrella term covers multiple categories of people across various spectrums. Each category has different upbringings, views, ambitions and goals. It is necessary and then provides customizable solutions that are both viable and sustainable. Education is a human right, as rightly mentioned from the Constitution, as well as we have heard from our panelists, with immense power to transform in so many areas. Let our state Nagaland, have the best education system to have better tomorrow, that is better Nagaland. Thank you so much for your contribution, our panelists. In this discussion, we have come to know more about the modalities, the provisions, the implementation part of the Act, that is RTE Act 2009, in the country in general and particularly in the state of Nagaland. I believe even the viewers have also gained a lot of knowledge or the larger picture of Right to Education Act 2009. We wish the best that there will be more effective implementation of the Act in toto. Thank you so much.